We need to have a serious conversation about Joe Burrow and the overinflation of his legacy. Look, he just got a turf toe injury. It's a grade 3 turf toe injury. It looks like he's going to miss the rest of the season. And looking at this, look, I'm a Ravens fan, so maybe I've got some biases, but looking at this from an objective standpoint, in his 6 seasons, he has missed over half the season in half of them. And look, regardless of how good you are, regardless of if it's your fault, if it's the offensive lineman's fault, if it's the play caller, if it's just dumb luck, if you're not available, I don't know what to say. That everybody says it and it's cheesy. The best ability is availability. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how good Joe Burrow is. If he's only available half the seasons, I don't know what to tell you. Now, the seasons he did play, I gotta admit, even the 3 seasons he did play, they weren't that impressive. Last season in 2024, he missed the playoffs. And look, I get his defense wasn't good. You've got the number 1 receiver in the NFL. You've got one of the best wide receiver number 2s in the NFL. You're supposed to be one of the best quarterbacks. You're supposed to be one of the elite upper echelon guys. You got to make the playoffs. Do you have to win the Super Bowl? No. I'm not saying that any guy that doesn't win the Super Bowl isn't a good quarterback, because we got Lamar, we got Allen, and they've never won a Super Bowl. But look, you didn't even make the playoffs. To make the playoffs, all you have to do is be average. If you're an average football team, you make the playoffs. Technically above average because it's 14 out of 32, but you got to be above average. That's not asking much. You're supposed to be that dominant quarterback. You're supposed to be one of the elite guys, one of the Hall of Famers, and you miss the playoffs. Okay. Then you have the 2021 and 2022 years. And look, he made a Super Bowl and lost, and then he lost an AFC Championship in back-to-back years. And those are good playoff runs, and that does matter. But he had 13 interceptions in 2021 and 14 interceptions in 2022, and only had 10 regular season wins in the year that he lost an AFC Championship, and he had 12 regular season wins in the year he went to the Super Bowl. And it's like, those are good seasons. Look, if you can make it to the Super Bowl, all respect to you. If you can make it to the AFC Championship, that's a good season. But to say he's a dominant quarterback, I mean, the year they went to the Super Bowl, the defense was playing pretty well. Him averaging a turnover per game, it's okay with all the yards and touchdowns he throws. But it wasn't a phenomenal, it wasn't a Hall of Fame performance. I don't think we can really put him in the discussion with a Lamar. Nobody puts him in discussion with Mahomes, or they shouldn't. With an Allen. I think Joe Burrow's legacy, to this extent, has kind of been, we've been kind of lied to. 3 seasons he completely misses. Another season he misses the playoffs. And then in the 2 seasons he goes on deep playoff runs. I consider losing the AFC Championship a deep playoff run. I threw a lot of interceptions and didn't get the ring. He didn't get an MVP. I think we've got to look at Joe Burrow as kind of like a Phillip Rivers, and I hate to say that. I hate to say that, because I think Joe Burrow's is a good guy. I think he's got a lot of talent, but I think he's got a very explosive offense, and at the end of the day, he's underperformed. He's underperformed. He has made 2, and the Bengals could, they could make the playoffs this year, but I'm rolling it out for them. The Bengals have made the playoffs in 1/3 of the years he's been the quarterback, and that's just not going to cut it for whatever reason. It doesn't matter if he's injured. It doesn't matter if it's his fault. It doesn't matter if it was a dirty play. They've made the playoffs in 1 out of 3. Well, 2 out of 6, but I'm simplifying the fraction. 0 MVPs, 0 Super Bowl rings. Genuinely, I think this kind of solidifies, until proven otherwise. I don't think Joe Burrow is in that upper echelon with those top 3 guys. And I would say it's Mahomes, and then Allen and Jackson until they prove otherwise. But I think Burrow is getting severely overrated. And I think Jalen Hurts is 100%. If we're just looking quarterback to quarterback, Jalen Hurts, he wins 70% of his games, and he's been a dominant performer in the biggest moments against the Commanders, against the Chiefs in both Super Bowls. Jalen Hurts gets it done, especially with the run he's been on in the last 16 games. I think he's 16-0 in games he plays the whole game. So at this point, we've got to put Jalen Hurts above Joe Burrow from a career standpoint.